Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Now you may have noticed last week NZXT released a whole new whack ton of products, and I've been lucky enough to get pretty much one of everything to cover. I'm not actually going to be covering the Krakens in this video. This is all about the new H7, but I just wanted to let you know in case you're wondering about the new stuff. There will be videos on this, so stay tuned. But today is all about the new H7 Flow RGB. We're going to unbox it, take a little bit of a look, and tell you what's different from the other versions that they currently have available. So let's get into it. So there's currently an H7, there's an H7 Flow, we've got an H7 Elite, and now there's the H7 Flow RGB. So the Flow is depicts a new range of fans that they've got, which are their new core fans. So they're a little bit more affordable than the other ones that we've seen, like the Duo and the RGB ones. They have a bit more of a standard effect, which I'll show you in a minute as well. The case itself comes in two colours. Hang on, let me get my flaps out. So, we've got a white one here for you guys to see today. They also have a black edition as well. You may have noticed that there is a black and a white version available for the, is it the standard Flow or the Elite? There might be that coming in the future, who knows, but this for now is all one colour. You do have a 2-year warranty with this as well. It's quite a chunky case. It's 10 kilos out of the box, so you will need to have your muscles about you if you're lifting it out. And there we go. Another one. Oh, so getting really distracted for that. There it is. First impressions, we've got a nice lot of ventilation across the top and the front, and then let's have a little peek inside. Looks very, very clean. So let's run around. We have got up to 360mm of support for radiators, AOs on the top. You can do obviously 3 120s as well, 2 140mm fans if you'd rather. But for most of you guys, I would have thought you'd probably use AO here. Also filtered as well. It's got like a push panel. That's got the perforations on that side, and then we've got our filter below. Just simply pops out like that. So very easy to remove. And you can see all our mounting options on there as well. I have taken the button off, but you can see we've got our power button. There's 2 USB-A ports. These are USB 3.2 Gen 1. Then we've got USB 3.2 Gen 2, so that's a 10 gigabits port, and then a headphone and microphone and combi jack. Now we've got that off, let's take a look in the main body of the case. So again, we've got like those push pins to take the glass off. Comes out at an angle, then you slide it up. Seeing a lot more cases with those kind of push pins in recently rather than thumb screws, so a little bit different, but it does make cases nice and easy to break down, which is always good. So in the belly of the beast, we've got support up to an ATX standard motherboard. You can obviously go smaller if you want, but I don't really see why you'd go for a smaller board if you're going to have a case like this size. The back, there is a pre-installed 120mm fan. This is a F120Q, which is a quiet style fan, but does support up to a 140 if you want to change it out. And we'll talk about the fans in the front in a minute. So we've got this big old cable channel as well, which goes down with the NZXT branding. There's also some perforations where your power supply will go, so you can use it fan side up if you want to. For the majority of people, they'll probably put it fan side down. Below, there's also a dust filter as well, so that's another reason why you'd probably put it fan side down anyway. If I just lift this up, you can also see there's a little part for our cables to come through, so your graphics cards. So rather than coming along where the motherboard would usually be, you can come up from the bottom if you'd rather. All kind of personal preference. So in terms of clearance for your coolers and the graphics cards, we've got up to 185mm clearance for a cooler, so you can put some pretty big ones in there, like thinking Noctuas and stuff like that. And then for our graphics card, we have got a lot of room, which means the big old chunky 4080 Strix will fit in there with absolutely no problems at all. So always good to know that your biggest cards can go in these cases, because some of them could be a bit of a tight fit nowadays. But this one certainly just gobbles it up. So going around to the front, again, we've got another perforation section. We'll pull this off with the pins that are under there. The filter's on the back of this one for this part. It's not a removable one like we saw on the top, but it's certainly easy enough to clean anyway. So under that, we have got 3 pre-installed 120mm fans. These are the new core fans I mentioned. And these are 140mm fans in this version. Now they also do come available in separate packs. So we've got the 3 packs of 120s, and then you can also get dual packs of 140s, also in black and white as well, if you want everything to match. Personally, that's what I would like to do. I don't like mismatched fans in my builds and stuff like that, so I would be buying some of these if I was using this case myself. So the core fans, I mentioned there was a different style from these to the traditional ones. So I'm talking about the like the F120 RGBs, for example, they have the ring of RGB around the outside. So these ones, the RGBs in the hub of the fan then will spread outwards rather than having a ring of RGB around it. So it's more of a traditional style with what we generally see on the market than NZXTs with the outside ring. So a little bit different, but we will light this up as well to show you in a minute to see how it looks. So popping that back on, dunk, very easy. Again, up to 360mm support for radiators, fans on the front. You have got the 140s pre-installed, but you can obviously swap those out for 120s if you'd rather. So we've got the core fans in the front, but like I mentioned, this is a quiet edition fan in the back. Personally, I would like to see them all match, because if I were to buy this case to build in, I'd immediately chuck that fan straight out and replace it with one of the core ones to match. So you are paying for something there with that cost of the fan that you may not be using. So something to bear in mind. I'd rather just have it empty so you can put whatever fan you'd like in, rather than using something that probably the majority of people won't be using anyway. So to the rear of the case again, we've got the pop pins, so very easy to remove. We have got our little accessory box down here, so mounting screws and things in individual packets. Then we've also got some 2.5-inch bays and some cable management zip ties. And it's much like before, but I really think they could stick them all in one bag just to save on the excess plastic. All of the front panel stuff is here underneath. Let's have a look what we've got included. So it looks like we've got daisy chain for the RGB, so that's a 5V addressable for all the RGB fans that are on the front. So it's nice as a little adapter, so it's saves some excess wiring. So it looks like all of the Flow fans have got the white cables. There's our front panel stuff all in one block, which I do love to see. NZXT do a really good job with that. So having to do all the individual ones. Got another adapter here for the power for those fans, 3 into 1 PWM. So that's very nice. The specs on the website are actually listed these as 3 pins, so it's nice to see that they're 4. So you will get the PWM on there. And then of course we've got HD audio, USB 3, and also our USB-C port. So just tuck those back underneath. We have got a drive cage that supports for 2 3.5mm drives. Power supply, you can do up to 200mm in length. You can also remove that cage as well if you want to. Most majority of people probably will. Just give yourself a little bit more room for cable management. Cable management, you've got between 18 to 22mm of depth depending on where you're looking at the cables themselves. Just notice another fan cable, that's a 3-pin one. That's a quiet edition that goes to the rear exhaust, but like I said, you probably swap that out anyway. We have some Velcro tie downs for cable management at the top, big old clearing for our EPS connectors to come through. A couple of extra 2.5-inch drives. You can do a total of 4 2.5-inch drives with this. There is the extra brackets in the accessory box that you can put into the cages. Then you've also got some little points to tie down here as well. That's probably going to be suited for your 24 pins and things like that. Your more chunky cables can go underneath there, the little hooks. Also some more Velcro on the right hand side for your EPS connectors to come straight up. I really like that as well, especially that little channel that can go underneath. Keep it nice and tidy. So that was a little look around the H7 RGB Flow. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. I'll put a B-roll shot on the screen as well for you guys to see these fan effects at the front. Now this will retail for £119, probably be about the same in dollars and euros with the way the conversion rates and things are at the moment. Also, quickly, the black version will come with a tinted panel, whereas the white comes with an ultra clear. Just a little thing to note there as well. I will be doing a build in this very soon. Even the Kraken videos as well, you'll see this all built up. We're going to put a full system in there to show those off. So make sure you get subscribed and ding the bell so you don't miss that video. But I think for this one, this is a nice little overview. So I hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments box below. Links to buy and stuff will be in the description box. Thank you to NZXT for sending this out for me to look at, and I'll see you all in the next one.